All right, what's up, Mac Heads and Maniacs? We got a special guest today, Big Boo Boo. He was featured in a 1991 Los Angeles Barrio Wars documentary. I forgot the name of the guy. Was it Tom Brokaw?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and it was based on East Los Angeles gangs, and Boo Boo was on there. You guys can find the clip on YouTube. Boo Boo reached out to me, and we both agreed that it would be nice for him to come on here. Um, so we're going to talk about the regular things that we always talk about. We're going to talk about his YouTube channel. As you guys know, I let you guys plug your YouTube channel so you guys can get your subscribers up and your likes, views, and all that stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about that documentary that he was in. So welcome to the platform, Boo Boo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You want to tell everybody where you're from?
Okay, from East Los Angeles, Lopez Maravilla. I'm Big Boo Boo. I'm the first Boo Boo from the neighborhood. 46 years old, and it's my pleasure to be here.
All right. So, Boo Boo, in that documentary, they talked about this war that was going on with your neighborhood. What was that, Garrity Loma, or was that somebody else?
At the time, it was Gary Loma. Yeah, we were going at it pretty hard.
What was that all about?
It was it had been a misunderstanding at first. We used to get along with the dudes from Garrity. They started off as a small clica in City Terrace. It was Rockwood Street locals. They were maybe about 40, 50 deep. But their little Rockwood Street was in Garrity Loma. So the vatos from Garrity came and talked to them and told them, either you get into our barrio or you guys are gonna have to break it up. So they kept their name. They became a clique off of Garrity, and they just started going at everybody. I mean, they were putting in work. They're putting in work. They hit vatos from Eloyo, vatos from Mariana. They hit Lote. They hit us. They hit everybody. Um, One of my homeboys had a run in with the vatos from Garrity on Eastern and Floral, and they tried to jump him. When my homeboy realized that they were on him, he turned around. It surprised him. They were gonna rush him. My homeboy turned around, and out of reaction, he hit the vato in the face. The vato went down, and he hit his head on the ground. So they started jumping my homeboy. Another one of my homeboys came by, try to help him out. When they realized their homie was bleeding everywhere, they stopped. They picked him up and they took him. Well, instead of taking him to the hospital, they left him in the car and they went to a bolo. They went to a party. Well, it turns out that I guess he was hemorrhaging blood, or he was bleeding internally somehow, and he passed away. Rascal from Garrity. He was very young. He's about 18 years old. He passed away in I believe it was 1989. He passed away, and I
Mm,
mean that set off a huge war.
mm. In that video, you had talked about getting shot. How old was you when you got shot?
I was 15 years old. I got shot October 26, 1990. I got hit with a 45. I was 15 years old. When I was in the neighborhood, I grew up in the neighborhood. Since I was a kid, and I always heard the homies talk. The homies always used to say, "Don't let them catch you slipping." I wouldn't drink in Navarro just for that reason because I didn't want to get caught slipping. And that day, I was at a ditching party, and I had a few too many. When I was walking to my homeboy Rascal's house, and they they just crept up on me. I saw the auto. I saw him clearly, but it didn't register. By the time I actually reacted, it was too late. He already had me at gunpoint. He shot me, and I ran. I actually my homegirl was with me. Melinda was with me. I grabbed her and I threw her down on the floor. And my homeboy Dopey was behind me. My homeboy Dopey got shot 3 times. He almost died. He was 13. I was 15.
Mm, damn, man. So you was what, 16 in the video?
16, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy, man. It
Yeah.
looked like it just the way they put that video together. It looked like it was on back there. All the graffiti, all the vatos gangstered up and shit. Um, your two little brothers were featured in there. Well, they spoke to them in there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I
what happened to your two brothers? How did they turn out?
Well, actually, my brothers are doing good. They're still in East LA. My brother Edgar, the one that spoke in the video, he's a journeyman carpenter. He's a great father. He's a great person. He started to hang out a little bit more and more as he started to grow, and he tried to get into the hood. When I was doing a bridge in Vegas, And so I wasn't in the neighborhood. I wasn't in East LA. I was in Vegas for about 9 months. And when I came back, the homies told me, "Hey, your brother's been kicking it, and it looks like he's trying to get into the lottery." So I talked to them, and I talked to him. I mean, he was real vitalo with me, but ultimately, the neighborhood wasn't for him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he went on his own, and he got married. He's had his kids, and he's a journeyman carpenter. He's doing great. He's doing great. My brother is doing great. My little brother Michael, he didn't say anything in the video, but he's also he's doing okay. He's in East LA. The whole COVID and this whole recession is hitting them pretty good. But besides that, they're both in good health, and they're doing all right.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. I just assuming, just as a viewer, assuming they probably turned out being from the same gang. Um, who was the veterano, the pistolero that was featured in the video?
Oh, that's my big homeboy Tintin. He was a gang worker. He was the one that was kind of he would arrange things for us. We were the youngsters, so he would take care of us. He would try to get us out of the hood. You know what I mean? Plan little trips for us. He took us camping, whatever it took, so we wouldn't be in the barrios. We wouldn't be targets. He used to look out for us. He used to take care of us. He's still around. As a matter of fact, the homies had a gathering with him not too long ago, and still around. He's still around.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Is he still doing work in the community?
I don't think so. I don't think he's doing that anymore. I haven't talked to him. I called him a couple of days ago, as a matter of fact, but I don't think he's doing that anymore.
Hmm. I don't know if I should ask you now or when we get off into more about you, but so at 15 you got shot and you was gang banging, going to ditching parties, and you were drinking already. At what age did you start running with the gang, and what age did you start drinking?
Uh, I got into the barrio when I was about 13 years old. I was homegrown. I moved into the hood when I was in '81. I was maybe about 6 years old. So I mean, I grew up with my homeboys, my clica. I grew up with them. Um, I got into the barrio 13 years old, and I started gang banging and doing my thing 14 years old, and I never really drank. It wasn't my thing. I didn't smoke no butt. I mean, I did something stupid when I was 14 years old. I smoked a frio, a cool. That just put me off of everything. You know what I mean? It messed me up bad. But I didn't really start drinking till I was about maybe 19, 20 years old.
They say Hispanic gangs in East Los are generational. Would that be the same for you and your family? Did your uncles or father or grandparents gangbang?
You know what? My father and my uncle were from 18. They
Wow.
they were money makers. They did a different kind of gang banging.
Hmm.
Um, Regardless, so I was exposed to drugs, to guns, to violence, and I saw. I always felt like my father stole my childhood because all the things that he exposed me to, and I saw a lot of things I shouldn't have seen at 7, 8, 9 years old, and it kind of pushed me into the direction where I went. There was no love at home, but when I went to my barrio, my homeboys loved me. That's one thing I can honestly say. I used to go to my neighborhood and my homeboys embraced me. The reaction that they used to have when I used to pull up, my homeboys, I love my barrio. That's what LMV means. Love my barrio. I love my homeboys. And what I said, as a matter of fact, in the video too, I love my neighbor.
Yeah, yeah. You was like, I love my neighborhood.
You know, that's what I used to get out of going to the neighborhood. My uncle and my dad were on a different plane, but they were still out there doing their thing. They were from 18th Street, but yeah, I was exposed to a lot of that. That's how I ended up, going to the neighborhood and doing some of the things I did there.
Yeah, I felt that when you said that. It really hit home. And you was wearing the LA Dodger cap, man. You a Dodger fan?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, always been.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So before I get to the traditional questions, I want to talk about your YouTube channel so you can, try to get your viewers and subscribers up.
Oh, right on.
What's up with your YouTube channel, man? I checked it out, and you got a lot of personal videos with you and the family. You're a family man, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, to me, to most people that I know, family is the most important thing in life. My kids, if it wasn't for my kids, I'd be buried somewhere. I'd be doing life. That's off the top. You know, my kids mean everything to me. Family means everything to me. I My YouTube channel is basically my daughter and I. I don't know if you saw my daughter. She likes to prank. She likes to, she likes to prank. She likes to mess with me. But it's basically about family. I had to. I grew up pretty quick. You know, I was forced to grow up pretty fast. And there's a lot of things that the youngsters that they can't do. Simple things like cook or tie a tie. You know, I can do that. Work a computer. You know, little things like that. That's what I want to put in my channel. I want people to know that if they want to do something, I can speak sort of Italian. I want to put all that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my son Ezekiel, as a matter of fact, my son Ezekiel was stabbed pretty bad last year, 2019, and he recovered. He's very intelligent. As a matter of fact, he's on my YouTube channel. They call him Thumper the Loke. He has that East Side Funk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you happen to listen to it? I love that song. I love that song. And the boy's got talent. I think he might make something of himself with that.
That's what's up, man. It's funny that you mentioned about teaching people how to tie a tie. As old as I am, I'm in my 50s, man, and one of my homeboys had passed, and it was probably about 10 of us at one of my homeboys' house, and my homeboy was getting dressed for the funeral and shit, and he didn't know how to put a tie on. But here we are, everybody's like late 40s and early 50s.
Right.
None of us know how to tie a tie. And so the way we handled it, he had a son or a stepson, and he says, "Hey, Dad," he said, "just look it up on YouTube." So he put it on TV on YouTube and fixed the tie up nice, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that was a trip,
And
man.
that's what I want my channel to offer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So look, in one of your videos, I seen you shooting a 30 caliber rifle.
Yes.
Looked like you didn't hit nothing, man. What was you doing?
Hey, you know, as far as guns go, I mean, I love guns. I'm a gun fanatic, and but I mean, traditional guns. I've been shooting guns since I was a kid. 22 rifles, shotguns, 9mm. I had never seen a rifle like that. You know, I didn't know where the safety was at, but I ended up figuring it out. But yeah, it was a nice rifle, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
In fact, out here, you can drive out to the country without a problem. Police won't bother you, and you can let off as many rounds as you want.
damn. How about rapid fire?
That's when they rapid fire as far as fully automatic.
Yeah.
No, yeah. If they hear that, then they're gonna send somebody out to check it out. But as far as anything else, yeah, it's crazy out here. You can drive out to the country, put up your cans, and start shooting.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So you want to get involved? I'm asking you, do you want to get involved in gang intervention or prevention?
I would. Um, I've always been told that, the way I carry myself and the way I talk, I always mind my manners, and I'm a very well-spoken person. Um, when I was on probation, I was maybe about 16, 17 years old. One of the conditions that my probation officer told me was that she wanted me to talk to the youth, the 10, 11, 12-year-olds, the ones that were, on the verge of either going to the gang or staying in school. So she had me talk to them, and they were very receptive, very receptive. Anything that I had to say, they were very receptive because they knew that it was real. You know, you can't try to push something on somebody if you don't know what you're talking about. And when I went and I shared this message with them, a small piece of my life, because I was only 17, but I had already been shot. You know, I had already been picked up for shooting into an occupied dwelling, little things like that. I had experienced more than a 17-year-old should have experienced at that time. And I shared this with these individuals, these youngsters, and they were very receptive. And I always thought about, kind of leading my life in that direction. I mean, because I've obviously been given the gift of gab. I can talk, and I want to use it for good. I've always used it for bad, and now I just want to use it for good.
Mm-hmm. Seeing your big homeboy do it, and seeing how you guys reacted in the neighborhood, that I'm sure had something to do with you, even in the back of your mind, thinking about doing something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And he's a good dude, and he took care of us for many years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing to do, man. Off camera, I explained to you my situation as far as that goes, the good and the bad. But
Yeah,
if that's something you want to do, man, do it. You could do it through your channel or start through your channel, and then you could do it locally or however, whoever you want to reach back to and try to help and save, man. I encourage it because people like yourself and me and people older than us, we see the gang shit was just some bullshit at the end of the day. I mean, we had fun doing it. Like you said, you loved your neighborhood, you loved your homeboys. That's how it is when we're young, because we don't really have much more else to look forward to.
yeah, yeah,
So if that's something you want to do, man, I encourage you to get out and do it, man.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's something that I've always thought about doing.
I got a pretty good audience, and people usually reach out to whoever they see on my platform and try
Oh,
to build with them. So um, hopefully somebody reach out to you, or if they reach out to me, I'll hook you up with them.
oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, so now the moment the viewers have been waiting for. Don't get nervous, boo boo. Don't get nervous. So East Los for the people out of state, because a lot of people from out of state tune in. East Los is unincorporated section of Los Angeles, correct?
Yes.
And you guys are controlled by the sheriff.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What street did you grow up on, Boo Boo?
I grew up on Floral and Humphreys. Uh,
Okay.
1981. I moved right there, and I was there till I believe 1991, 92. My house used to get shot up. I got shot. You know, my mom found things in the house that a 15-year-old should never had. So my mom thought it was a smart thing, but her, being a traditional Mexican woman, didn't know what she was doing, and so she moved me from East LA, from my neighborhood, from where I grew up, my roots were. She moved me up to Highland Park, not knowing that things would go south real, real quick, and they did, and it was a crazy ride. I mean, I was up there in Highland Park, and shit got heavy for me up there too. And I ended up coming back. I ended up moving in with a girlfriend that I had at the time. But yeah, East LA was something else at that time.
Is that neighborhood considered poor or middle class?
No, the neighborhood is considered poor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I was reading newspaper articles, but sometimes they can try to shit on black and brown people and where you
yeah,
come from. So I wanted to ask that question.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know any history of Maravilla?
Well, Maravilla, yeah. Maravilla started the neighborhood. Maravilla itself started in the 1940s. Um, it was a big neighborhood, and they started to section off. The reason it's Maravilla is because that little incorporated area in East LA is actually called Maravilla. That's what it's called. That area is called Maravilla. We we've got the Maravilla projects, Maravilla meets. We've got the Maravilla Metro. The Maravilla Business Women's Association. Everything has to do with the Maravilla Star. So everybody started to section off. Lopez, El Hoyo, Mariana, Juarez, Fraser. I mean, you've got Maravillas all over the place.
Yeah, I heard of some of those names. Do you guys don't consider those cliques? Those are individual gangs?
But yeah, those are individual gangs. They started smaller Maravillas like Fraser, Pomeroy. Fraser, no, actually, Fraser was never a click off of nobody. Pomeroy was a click off of Juarez. Who else was there? Gage was with Maravilla Rifa, but eventually everybody just branched out, and they're the wrong gang now. I think
Which
they're.
one?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
I believe. I'm not sure, but I believe there's maybe about 19, between 18 and 20 Maravillas.
Right, right, right. I ran across a lot of them, man. Cool guys as far as I'm concerned. But when I first I went to the hole, Gangfish Row, and I was housed with a bunch of Matavillas, and I didn't know, I didn't really know shit. I'm from South LA, the
Right.
West Side. I don't know shit about East LA like that.
Yeah.
And the guys in the cells, because we were in one man cells, and they yelling out over the tier, Mariana, in Arizona, all that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking the essay next to me is yelling out his girlfriend's name or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Right,
then I caught on, and I would hear the guys talking over the chair about the green light situation and the fighting and why they was in the hole and stuff. So
right.
that's when I start to learn more about Maravilla. And let's see, what else I want to ask you. Well, anyway, which one is the original Maravilla?
Maravilla itself, Maravilla Rifa. It
Okay,
originated just Maravilla.
okay,
Yeah, and that's
yeah,
the branch off from there. Yeah.
okay, got you. And does Lopez come from a street in your neighborhood or what?
Yeah, yeah. Lopez Avenue. That's where we used to hang out. Lopez Avenue, Lopez Maravilla.
Do all the Maravillas get along or no?
No, you know what? It was a beautiful thing to see all the marras get along. I mean, because our neighborhood was headquarters. During the green light, we had we everybody from East LA down in our neighborhood, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to hear. And little by little, when you combine alcohol with gang members, crazy gang members, you know what I think? Somebody just commented that Eloyo might be the oldest one. It might be the oldest Maravilla.
Yeah, that's what I read in the newspapers.
Um, you combine alcohol and gang members, and it's a bad combo. And just little by little, it started off with conflicts. I mean, we were still united, and we were still together for the cause that we thought we were pushing. But it was just a matter of time before people would start fighting, or shit would go south, and it did, and it got back to the same the way it used to be. The homies started shooting at each other again.
Yeah, we say that amongst black gang members too, except for one thing, and I'm gonna ask you if you left it out accidentally or if it's the same. We would add gambling to that. Gangsters, gambling, and alcohol just don't mix. Did you guys gamble when you got together?
No, no, at least not in my neighborhood.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, no, not really.
okay. Did you guys have any beef with any gangs in Aliso Village?
At least so. Actually, they were a little bit out of our area, but I know that some of the homies used to go down there and you know pick stuff up from that area. And a couple of times either they try to rob them or the person try to rob the homie, and it never became a real where it was guerra or nothing. But we've gotten into some we had conflict everywhere. Green light took us everywhere, but no, not that we actually really went and started hitting these vatos. Nothing like that.
You come from a predominantly Hispanic American neighborhood. Did you guys have any blacks or Central Americans in your barrio?
Um, no, no blacks, Central Americans. Not that I know of. I'm not sure. No, not that I know of.
Okay. So since you guys, Aliso Village, as you say, was kind of far, you guys didn't have any funk or relationship with the First Street East Coast Crips?
No, no, no. We never had any run-ins with them.
Okay. Did you guys, well, I shouldn't ask you, did you, but you guys once ran with the Lot Stoners, right?
We used to play football against them. As a matter of fact, the lot was going to be part of Maravilla. They were they were in the middle. They didn't know whether to go with Sureños or to go with Maravilla. It completely split. It was split in East LA, and they had a choice because they could have been a part of Marra. They would have got into Lote Maravilla, or they decided to go the opposite way. So they went. They ended up going with the Sureños. But yeah, we used to. I grew up with a lot of those guys. Um, I grew up with the Stoners, the original Stoners, and it was a shame that things happened the way they did. But yeah, I mean, we were kids. We went to school together. We played football. We whenever we could, we would steal a beer, and I grew up with those guys. They were right across the street from us.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna ask a few more questions. I got some annoying viewers that have questions for you. They're just
All right.
jumping in my conversation. That's the thing about going live, though. It can be good. It can be irritating as well.
Right.
But I'll let you answer some of their questions in a moment. let's see. So the beef with Wifins, how far back does that beef go?
Wife it's a Lopez?
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
that
I
would be
said
pretty.
we we got interviewed under the Wife it's bridge, and the people doing the interviewing, the camera people, they set us up. They
Hmm.
set us up. They wanted to see a gang fight. So they picked us up and they had us go out there. They asked us a couple of questions, and as they were interviewing us, the guys from Wyfits came and they kicked the shit out of us. It was a setup, man. There was no guns or nothing like that, but they kicked our ass.
Damn.
I as far as the beef goes, no, I don't remember that. I must have been too young for that.
Okay, that's cool. So you inherited that when you started banging. That's
Yeah,
I know how that goes.
yeah.
Have you ever been to YA or the Pinta?
No, no, I never went to the joint. I went to the county jail. I fought a couple of cases there. I was actually in the module, the Maravilla module, for about 8 months, and oh man, it was something else. When I got out, I was talking to myself. It was so lonely in there. Man, white as a ghost.
Yeah. I feel you. Um, which is another thing. So Maravilla had their own module in
Yeah.
what mid '90s, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
It,
and that was because of too much funk on the main line. You guys didn't.
yeah, we that was during the green light. We had a green light. So anytime anybody from Maravilla would go up to the main line, it was all bad, And I mean, we were outnumbered 20-1. Um, the county took they were taking the beef for everything that was going on, and they finally decided just to segregate us. They had to segregate us because I mean we couldn't walk anywhere. We were getting fucked up left and right.
You guys had some solid guys with some heart, man. Because when I was in the hole with them, man, I was hearing stories, and yeah, a few of them they PC'd up. They would just take off on somebody so they could go to the hole, but other ones really stayed down and fought, and
Yeah,
just had to get taken to the hole or to the Montevita module. Because the hole that I was in was like the pre-hole.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Gang Fish Row.
yeah.
But yeah, you guys were on the 3,000 floor then, man.
3,700. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. I remember after I came from the hole and I went back to the gang module with all the Crips and some of my own homeboys from my neighborhood. When we go out, when you get handcuffed, you get shackled. When
yeah.
you go on the court line,
Right.
man, yeah, man, you motherfuckers was going to court. It was a bunch of you guys going to court, man. And so my homeboys was dissing. My homeboys was dissing you guys, and you guys was dissing back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, hold on, because it became racial. And the whole time I was in the hole, there was no racial conversations.
Oh, is that right?
There was no racial tension whatsoever. And so I'm like, man, hold up. Them dudes is cool, man. They cool. They not down with them right now. They got some static going on right now.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. We always used to hear that whenever we because I've been asked myself a couple of times. Black dudes would ask me, "Where you from?" And I would say, "Maravilla," and their whole facial expression would change. Oh, is that right? You from Maravilla? Yeah. Okay, it completely changed. You from Florence? No, I'm not from Florence. Oh, where you from? From Maravilla. Oh, their facial expression changes because Florence is right there, South Central. We're in East LA, so it was a big difference.
right.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and they used to be on them Salvadorians as well too. Man, those are some big dudes, man. Them Salvadorians were big, large dudes.
Oh yeah.
So, is there anything you can speak on about the fallout with the South Side?
Yeah,
Uh,
power was given to somebody that wasn't very responsible with it, and he delegated the wrong order. He used the power that they gave him to put money in his own pocket, and they if it would have been done differently, maybe things would have ended up differently. But this dude delegated that everybody's got to do this, everybody's got to do that, and a lot of officers didn't want to do it. They didn't want to, but they had no choice. Their body was going with it. Um, we were not going to do it. We were not going to do it, and it just man, things were fucked up. They were fucked up for us. And it wasn't until somebody else was put in that position, and he took the authority and strained everything out to where he opened up doors for us. We were able to eat too. You know,
Mhm.
and ultimately that's what it's about. It's everybody has to eat, and now I mean things are different now. Things are different. Things got pretty hectic, but things are different now.
When the green light was supposedly put in, what I guess around 1992, something like that.
93, yeah.
93. Okay. How, try to walk us through how you got the message and how you felt. Like I know your heart had to drop. Like, oh shit, we got beef with the big guys.
My One of my homeboys, he went to the meeting at Elysian Park, and when they did the roll call, they were doing roll call in every city, and they came to East LA. They said, "Is anybody here representing Maravilla?" And my homeboy said, "I'm here representing Lopez." Lopez was the first neighborhood to have the green light in East LA. So they called him up and they told him, for what your homeboys did, you want us have to pay this much and you have to do this. And my homeboy told him, we didn't do that. We're being accused of doing something in South LA that we didn't. We don't go down there. We don't do shit like that. And the dude said, it doesn't matter whether, you think you did it or not. The point is that I'm telling you, you did it, so you have to pay. He told him it doesn't work like that. We're not going to pay. And the dude gave him the respect and allowed him to walk away. And he told him, go to your neighborhood and tell your homeboys that war will be coming to your front door. And it did. And
Mm,
um, the rest of the Maravillas, they saw how bad the homies were getting beat up in the county jail. Walters from Lopez were getting beat up, and they took it upon themselves. Maravilla love. That's why I could. That's why it breaks my heart. I'm from Maravilla. I got it blasted on my back. I'm from Maravilla, and it broke my heart because nobody asked the other Maravillas to get involved. They took it upon themselves because they had that gorra, they had that heart, that Maravilla love. They took it upon themselves to jump in and say, you know what, we're gonna ride together. And then all of East LA came together, and it was a unit, it was one. Like it breaks my heart now that the way that the homies treat each other, the way they act against each other. It's fucked up. But that's basically what happened. He allowed him to leave to tell us that war was gonna come to our front door, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying because especially I was living outside of the neighborhood in I was living in Montebello, so I was right there in the heart of Stoner's neighborhood. And Walt was from Puente, Walt was from Whittier, Walt was from Clanton. They came to hit my pad,
mm.
and they didn't expect me to be ready, but they came to hit my pad. They tried to jack me. They tried to jack me for what I had in the pad, and it got pretty bad. It got really bad.
Mm, Let me ask a crazy story that I always ask the brothers from different areas in California, especially San Diego. What was the prices like on the kilos of cocaine? Were they cheap? Cheaper than South LA?
Back then,
Yeah.
I remember at one point when it was dry, they were like maybe like 25K, and I don't. That was pretty high back then.
Okay. What was uh what was the main hustle? Because I know a lot of Chicanos are used to shoot heroin.
Yeah.
Uh, was
Uh,
that a big hustle in East Los?
it was for the older vatos, like not my generation. My generation, we didn't touch that shit at all, at all. But my generation used cocaine. At the time, 90s, early 2000s, it was cocaine. Either they snorted or they were smoking. A couple of them smoking crack or meth made a brief appearance. And once meth came into the picture, though, it just swept everybody. I mean, that shit came in and it snowballed. Literally, it snowballed. But back my generation never really used heroin. It was mainly cocaine, yesca. Homies who smoked frios, dust. Dust was very popular. PCP was very popular.
Mhm. I remember speedballs was popping in jail when I would go to Wayside.
Right.
Uh, well, I'm gonna let the viewers ask a few questions, man, and then whenever you're ready to check out, man, just go ahead and go, man. This uh,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
this been real good so far. Um, All right, come on, you guys, with those questions that you guys were asking earlier. And before the questions come, I do got another question. How did you guys fall out with the lot?
Well, when they decided not to join Maravilla, it became an immediate because some of the Maravillas, like the High Times, the Rascals, they're stoners too, and Loyal, they're stoners too. So they already had, animosity towards each other. But once the lot decided, okay, we're not gonna be from Marra, we're gonna go over here. Then once they crossed that threshold, they became our instant enemy, like everybody else. Once we were united and they said we had a green light, anybody that wasn't from Maravilla was our absolute enemy.
Hmm. Yeah, this kind of happened to the brothers too. So somebody said, "What is that noise? Is that you or me? That noise?" Oh, his shit's gone. Sound like his phone was crackling, like it caught on fire or something. Well, no questions unless we can get him back on. Let me try to hit him and let him know to come back on. Gibby, no, it's not pre-recorded. Delicious. We're drinking Hennessy tonight. It's cracking. Logan Heights checking in, San Diego, California. I'm from Long Beach. I gotta say, I give the Matavillas their props. They held their own. Yeah, they did. They did. Like I told Boo Boo, it was a lot of solid ones in there in the county jail, man, in the '90s. A lot of solid ones, but of course, a few told stories of doing some PC moves, but at least they got off. They got off first. They got theirs in before they went to the hall. Because if you don't get off first, they gonna get you. So you might as well get off first. Because they damn sure gonna get you. It's too many of them. But it was county jail was rocking and rolling, man, in the mid '90s. I always refer to '94, '95. It was definitely cracking. But you could give it '93. You could probably give it '96. But '94 and '95 is when I had up close and personal uh, with all of that shit, man. Montevias get props, tax free zone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most certainly. I never heard of Mariana. I'm not from East Los. I didn't know what Mariana was in 1995, but I learned quick. I learned who was cool and who wasn't. So that's when I became familiar with a lot of the Matavillas. What up, Jerome Wallace? It's all right that you late, man. You see the Seattle Seahawks? Seattle Seahawks went out like suckers, didn't they? Green Bay almost blew the lead too, huh? What about Tennessee? All right, so right now we're gonna welcome back Booboo, man. Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that. My phone died.
It's all good. They had a few questions. Let me see. I remember one was you guys cool with the Asian gangs when the green light stuff was going on?
Yeah, yeah. At the time, we would have took any allies that we could get our hands on. Yeah, they showed us a lot of respect. They carried themselves right. We never had a problem with them at all.
How about MS-13?
No, not a mess. For
No.
some reason, we rubbed them the wrong way. They rubbed us the wrong way, and I mean, there was some that you could actually sit down with and talk to, but the majority of them, when they were in a group, they never really wanted to fuck with us. Lowell, we were cool with Lowell too. Any other Greenlanders, we were cool with.
Right. I was going to ask about Lowell earlier. I said I'm not going to even go there. I was telling my viewers that what I wanted to ask you. Montevilla had a lot of graffiti on the wall over the years, from the '70s, the '80s, the '90s.
Right.
Uh, did you write on walls?
Not really. It wasn't. I used to tag when I was like 12, 13 years old, but no, not really. I wasn't real big on that.
All right. Any of your close homeboys? You had to know who was writing on the walls.
No, I mean the homies, a couple of the homies used to get out there, and they made it their mission to go and ride and cross people out. I wasn't really into that.
Right, right, right. Yeah, even in that documentary, it was some nice hit ups on the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And in L.A. Times, there's a lot of graffiti from Lopez in
Oh,
there.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you some articles.
Yeah, yeah. Send it to me.
Yeah. Asiatic Supreme says MS is kind of new for SA gang. Started early mid '80s. Yes, but we're talking about the 1990s during the Green Light County Jail. So appropriate time for that question.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Rose Hills had a green light in LA County in like 97, 98. Was you guys cool with Rose Hills?
I know the Vultures from Rose Hill. I knew a good handful of them. They didn't have the green light though when I ran into them. I ran into them in Highland Park. They were my neighbors. They were with it. Vultures from Rose Hill. They were with it. They were crazy ass youngsters. Them fools were with it.
How about Opal Street?
I know the Vultures from Opal too. We never run into them. They used to get slammed down.
Um, I keep telling you guys, it's either 1990s Barrio Wars or 1991 Barrio Wars.
Yeah, it's 1991 Body Wars.
Okay. So you guys got some more questions or what? Ask him. Okay, I got a question for you. Ask him if any of his homies have Serrano or Trece tattoos, and do they consider themselves Serranos again?
I've got homeboys. I've got shoot on them. Couple of them. They like I said, ever since the next person went into the seat, they've opened up doors. So I don't know if the homies consider themselves sureños. To be honest, I wouldn't know about that, but I know that they're working together. So it goes in hand. So I don't know if they're considered sureños. I'm not in the picture, so I wouldn't know about that.
Okay. Here go a question I missed. What grade schools did you attend?
I went to Hamill Street School. Then I went to Belvedere. I was at Belvedere 7th grade. 8th grade, I got kicked out. I went to Eastmont for one day. I got kicked out. I went to Central. I came back to Belvedere. I got arrested and I was kicked out of the school district. And I went to probation school and I got kicked out of there. I went to juvenile hall. Then when I got out, I went to a little high school behind Garfield High School. It was called Monterey High. I went to Monterey High.
Okay.
That was the last school I attended.
How old are you now?
I'm 46.
Pamela didn't want to do the math. She didn't want to add up your age in 1990, 15 years old to one. Let's see. Any more questions? Somebody said they worked with some OGs Maravillas with Serrano tattooed on them.
Yeah, there's a couple of homies that have it on them. They're from way back in the day.
Ask him if he got caught up in the stoner era and what stoner gangs joined Lopez.
None of the actual stoner gangs joined our neighborhood. They who was around us? It was Walters from the Lot, the whole stoners, which became El Hoyo Maravilla. Who else was there? There was a little stoner gang in our neighborhood, but they decided to go off on their own. That life was too crazy for them. The Humphrey stoners. Those are the only ones I remember when I was growing up.
I know you guys beef with 18th Street, right?
Yeah, it's been a long. Yeah. They don't any
So
mention of Maravilla to them. They cringe. They don't like us.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were the how would you say it? The big manzanas, the big apples. You guys were the big dogs, though, man.
Yeah. I mean,
90s.
we rub people the wrong way, and they respected us for it. I have family. From Flats, and I went to go see him one time during the green light, and it was when it was hitting real hard. And he told me, he goes, you better watch your ass. He goes, you better watch your ass. Homies are gaining stripes, taking Walters from Maravilla out. And and I told him, I said, well, I mean, there's nothing I can do. And he goes, you know, he goes, we hate you guys. He was, but in the long run, he was, we can't help but respect you. And you know, it meant a lot to hear that because a lot of authors won't admit that. Maybe
Right,
now
right,
they'll admit it. You know, the authors from Maravilla gained a certain respect, but back then it was all hatred. That's all
right,
they, you know, they just hated us.
right. What are Lopez's border enemies?
We had beef with Walters from Garrity, the lot. We had beef with Little Valley, with Laguna Park. Who else was around us? Oh, and then we had altercations with the Walters from the Stoners, which just got out of hand, and then we had beef with them for a while. Um, who else? And then in between, I mean, when Maravilla started to break apart, when they actually started to section off again, then Marra just started hitting Marra, and you know that was all bad. That broke my heart.
What are your borders for Lopez?
We have our neighborhood goes down from Cesar Chavez down to Biscolu, the jail, and east and west. I guess it would be eastern up to Mednick. We have a small neighborhood, very small neighborhood, small piece of land.
Right. It stayed down in the middle of it. Huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
One of my partners from East Los, he said the Humphrey Stoners got into Lopez, and so did some Radical boys.
The radical. Oh, that's right. Oh wow, yeah. The radical boys. Two of the radical boys got into my neighborhood, and the Humphrey Stoners. I don't remember any of them also getting to the hood.
Okay, all right. The biggest Maravilla clique and the smallest.
Mariana's one of the biggest ones. Um, I guess maybe we're one of the smaller cliques, smaller neighborhoods.
You know, I don't know if you can give any input on this or not, but the guy in the cell next to me from Mariana Maravilla,
Uh-huh.
he he said that he actually wasn't a gangbanger, but because he came from that neighborhood, everybody viewed him as being active in that neighborhood, and so when he would be on the main line, they'd be like, "Where you from, Holmes?" And he'd tell them where they live, and they would go upside his head. And he said the police, the OSJ, Operation Safe Jails,
Yeah,
they took him out for the same reason as well. And they put on his card that he was from a green light gang.
yeah. I've heard of that before too. Yeah, that's happened. That's happened quite a bit actually. Where
Man,
these guys they live in our barrio. I mean, they you know we conversate. We'll have a beer with them every so often, but they're not actually from the hood, and it's fucked up because they catch the blues.
yeah, that's cool. And that'll make you gang bang. That'll make you go put some work in when you get out, huh?
Oh hell yeah, you're pissed off. You know, I just got fucked up for nothing. Oh, let me get into the barrio.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I'm telling you, I heard a lot of stories up in there, man.
yeah. Oh yeah, there was some shit. There was some shit. We were outnumbered. I'm telling you, 20 to 1. 20 to 1. It was coming from everywhere, everywhere. The homies were getting jumped in the county jail, and they can't do anything about it. You know, it's 15, 20 guys on one homie. So what the homie started doing is they just tell them, you know, whenever you get jumped, find out where one of them is from and call us and let us know, and we'll go put in some work. And that's how the homie started doing it.
Hmm. Let's see. Any more questions, you guys? About to grab here. Let's see. Thumper. I don't know if that's your son or somebody playing. It says Thumper from.
Yeah, that's my son. That's my boy.
Okay. All right, that's Thumper from LMV gang. I rap.
Yeah, that's he's the one that has the East Side Funk on my YouTube channel.
Okay. All right. Ask him about MV jumping Serranos. He don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that.
Um, he said my boy Thumper got bars. Let's see. I already asked if it was any black members. He said no. You guys are late, man, asking these questions. If you wasn't here the whole time, man, don't ask no questions. Did you guys have any knockout artists? Any guys that can fight real good?
Well, my neighborhood, we grew up with the Cleveland House. The Cleveland House was a community center, and it was open for us until the sheriffs took over. But we had it for at least 20, 25 years. And in the Cleveland House, there was a boxing gym. And yes, if you run into somebody from Lopez, from Beloyo, anybody around that neighborhood where the Cleveland House was at, you bet your ass, and you better get him up because that motherfucker's got a right, he got a jab and a right hook like you never believe.
Hmm. I don't know what your question was. You have to repeat your question. I don't know what your question was.
Give him my question.
Is MVPs in Arizona still beefing?
Yes. Yeah.
What MVs are they clicked up with as of right now?
Who's at the
Maravillas.
MVPs? I I believe just the High Time and the Rascals. But yeah, they're beefing. They're beefing with Arizona. They're beefing with my own boys. They're beefing out there.
Oh yeah, this is a good question. That's another one I want to ask you. Because you guys are so generational and go back to the '40s, what would you be considered, or do you guys just change cliques? Or how does that work?
No, see, well, my neighborhood, Lopez, we have no cliques.
Okay.
We just have
Every-
there's no clicas, no nothing. And we like me. I got into the barrio. I survived. I did what I was told, and I earned my respect in the hood. But yeah, there's no changing clicas or there's no nothing like that. We don't have cliques.
you guys don't have different generations, like who your OG and all that. Your,
No.
your big homie. Okay, so everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
Another thing that a lot of people don't know is most neighborhoods, most Hispanic gangs, they jump you in to join their neighborhood. Your own homeboys kick your ass.
hmm.
You don't. Never done that. You don't
Wow.
get Lopez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are the Lopez in El Paso, Texas, legit? Are they from East LA?
Yeah. Those are my homeboys. Yeah. Love my homeboys.
Mhm. He just answered that question. There was no putting on process for Montevilla, for Lopez anyway. Did you guys work out? Did you guys have a workout routine on the streets?
Not a routine that was pushed on us. I mean, the homies encouraged us, to go to the gym, to go box, and to work out. One thing that we did do all the time was play handball. We played handball all day, every day. We played handball. But an actual routine, no. No, I mean, we just did it on our own. I mean, with the majority of the homies box, though. A good portion of my homeboys box at the Cleveland House.
Booboo, do you know Mr. Tuffy from El Hoyo or any of the Lagunas brothers from El Hoyo?
I do. Yes, I do. The
Uh,
homie. Oh yeah.
okay, here go a question. So in Montevilla, how do you know who's in charge? Who calls the shots? I don't know if we want to talk about who calls the shots.
Um, there's not one person calling shots. Everybody does their own part in the barrio. It just it just becomes second nature when you're there. You're in the barrio and you take care of your homeboys. It's just second nature for you to do what you have to do. It doesn't have to be delegated to anybody. You know, just it's I can't explain it. You'd have to be there to. There's nobody calling shots. You know.
Are any Lopez Montevilla considered big brothers?
I
Okay, all right. Let's see. Ask him what is the perup.
oh
What's
that's the Maravilla whistle. Yep.
all right. I'm not hip to that one.
Yeah.
My man said, "Why do you guys rock the shaved heads?"
Well, me myself, I have a receding hairline, so
I guess I'll be rocking one pretty soon.
There was there's a story about bald head back in the day, in the 70s. Something about, when somebody was gonna go out to the yard to go hit somebody, all the sureños were all, they would shave their heads, so the cuetero didn't know who actually did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Where does the tattoo in the back of your head come from? When did that start?
Um. Well, I don't know. To be honest, the homies have to earn the tattoos that they get. You know, and I mean now I really don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I've been out of the neighborhood for a long time, but I earned every tattoo that I have on my body.
Man, that's crazy. So when you go to county jail, take your shirt off, let everybody know where you're from.
You know what? Not for nothing, but I'm very well known. I am very well known. I'm very respectful, and I'm very well known. Um, in LA County, over in IE in the West Valley, not so much in Orange County, but yeah, basically, I just fuck it. It is what it is. I've caught the blues before. I was in a tanque, and we had a green light, and they had separated us from the whole group. But during the separation, there was a lockdown, so we had to go into the cell. I was in the cell, and this dude came in, big dude. He came in, and he's as soon as they racked the gate, he said, "Okay, I want to know where you're from. I want to know what you're busted for, and I'm gonna go down the line." And he went down the line. Then he came to me and he told me, "Where you from?" And no, he goes, "Where did you get busted, homie?" I said, "On Eastern and Brooklyn and Eastern." He was Brooklyn because it's Cesar Chavez now. But anybody that's that knows the history of East LA knows it used to be called Brooklyn. I told him Brooklyn and Eastern. He was Brooklyn. He was, wait a minute. He was, you got busted in Maravilla? I said, yeah. He was, what were you doing there? I said, that's my barrio. He goes, what? And boom, he gets up. It was a wrap. All of them got up. I caught the blues, dog. I caught the blues. Didn't go down, though. It was too many of them, though. They were hitting me, but they couldn't really hit me. They were hitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
I took maybe about a good 20-second beat down, but in those 20 seconds, it felt like an eternity, dog. It felt like an eternity. They finally pulled me out. Oh, cateado. When I got to the tier, when I got to the module, the homies already knew. They had a big old cup of pruno waiting for me.
Somebody said, "Are you more known in your neighborhood or by your enemies?
Am I what?
Who are you known to? Your neighborhood or your enemies?"
Um, anybody. I mean, my enemies, of course, but just people around the way, that I met. I lived in Ontario, over in the IE for 8 years. You know,
Did you guys do any low riding in your neighborhood?
neighborhood is too hot to do anything. But they're out there. They're out there.
Okay. Somebody said my IP is done. Somebody hating. I don't give a fuck if you got my IP. What you gonna do with it? You got it. You got my address. Come see me. What the fuck you broadcasting that shit for?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Man, I tell you, man, we get some crazy people up in here, bro.
Yeah, I hear you.
One of my homeboys want to know, where did you guys kick it outside of your neighborhood?
Uh, hang out over on Folsom. Well, we have a dead end that we used to hang out at, and I mean, anywhere that we would go in the barrio, they would shut us down. Anywhere that we would go in the neighborhood, but we would usually be right down Folsom and Humphreys. That's where we were all the time.
Hmm. They said you're a cool dude. Everybody's saying you're a cool dude, man.
That's right. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess that's about it, man. Unless you got something you want to offer, something that you didn't speak on that you want to speak on.
I just I just wanted to thank you, Kev, for giving me this opportunity. I do want to bring my channel up. It's Big Boo Boo Herrera. Check out my videos. I'm a family man, and my kids are they're a trip. My daughter, she's right here laughing. But check out my channel. Subscribe if you'd like. I got some good material right there.
Yeah, like I was telling them when you went off, some of the videos are kind of funny, man. It's mostly, to me, it's mostly family videos, though, man. And I laughed when you did your workout in the motel room. That was kind of funny, man. You got the California on your back,
Yeah.
your video on the back of your head.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
look, before you get out of here, how about, the Nathaniels, they usually rock the long hair.
Right.
So does the bald heads and the long hair distinguish you guys from one another?
Basically, yeah, because you don't see any Sureños with long hair. Not really.
No, you don't.
No.
Paisas maybe, but
Yeah, the
not.
paisas.
Yeah, right. Um, let's see. Damn, I had one more question. I forgot. Fuck. Let's see. Good shit, Boo Boo. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
I really appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Anytime.
Big Boo Boo, I'm checking out your channel, player. Much respect and blessings to you and your family.
Gracias. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much.
Somebody said the Stoners rock the long hair too.
Oh yeah, yeah. They used to, not no more.
Yeah, they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see what this is. About 5:25 into my veteranos from El Hoyo, Mr. Tuffy, the blind vato who was shot and blinded. And they say being blind does not stop Peter from his homies from holding people for him to stab.
Oh shit.
Man, that's deep, huh? Do you have any relations with Homeboy Industries?
No, but I know the president real good. Happy from Hazard. I know him, but no relation there.
All right, and this last comment, Black and Brown Love, Boo Boo. Peace out. Thanks for coming on, man. Let me know if you don't get enough new subscribers and stuff, and I'll tell them to come check you out again, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, Kev. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you guys for stopping by. I'll check y'all later, big dog.
All right, take it easy. Thanks.
You too.
All right. So yeah, that was real cool. You guys was real respectful toward him. I appreciate it. Yeah, Boo Boo definitely seems like a cool guy, and from what he was saying, he's one of them guys. Um, so that was cool that he came on. Hopefully, more people will start, more Serrano, Southsiders, Essa, Chicanos, Central Americans, Mexicans, Hispanics. Will start coming on KM videos, man. We all got stories to share. We all like to go down memory lane and reminisce, and bring back old memories of the good old days, the days that we thought was good back then, and just see each other's progression and hear each other's stories and see what we went through because we're all the same at the end of the day. Um, you know. But anyway, Too Pretty Kenny was supposed to be coming tonight. I don't know if he'll come tonight, but I'm gonna come on after the football game. Shout out to Boo Boo. Shout out to Lopez Maravilla for sharing the story here on Kev Mac Video live streams. Hopefully, one day we can get some traditional interviews from some of these guys. 202 likes, no dislikes. That was pretty good. Y'all take it easy, man. Much love. I'll see y'all after the football game. Peace.